I have not worked intersectionally before with LGBT CSOs. I mostly work with women and girls organization. But the idea of working intersectionally, I think it's a good idea because at the end of the day, it's about the same objective. We're all fighting for rights, human rights. I think it's easier and more effective if we are working together. We don't give the governments the option of choosing the priority of rights.
There's really no doubt that the voices of three people will be heard better and louder than one person's voice. I really think working intersectionally is important. I think coalition building is important. I think it is important to build a critical mass of people who fully understand the cause, fully understand what it is we're advocating for. And in building a critical mass of people, it means you're involving different types of people. It means you're involving people who have different struggles, who have different opinions and different views.
Civil societies or NGOs in Mauritius have limited resources, so I think it's key to join forces. It's difficult for a small NGO to have many focuses, so working intersectionally allows us, I mean Mauritian citizens, the Mauritian civil society, to go forward.
Intersectionality comes in because you appreciate the comparative advantage of the other and the importance of working together. For instance, we have women who are lesbians. We have women who are trans. They're part of the women movement. Why should they be isolated? It makes a lot of value when a person who is not even an LGBTI stand up and fight for the rights of the LGBTI. Sometimes when we work in isolation, we tend to fight instead of building.
There was the forced sterilization of HIV positive women in Namibia. And what happened during the lawsuit, the litigation, and the advocacy that went along with it was something that was wonderful, right? People came on board. The LGBT movement came on board. The men's movement came on board. The youth movement came on board, and everyone placed pressure on the government. Namibia Women's Health Network won the case, but it's also a testimony as to what can happen when we stand together and work together. And we can win things that we think are very difficult.
We romanticize intersectionality because we acknowledge the differences, but we aren't willing to work through the differences. It is important that we have these conversations because we can't be at the same table preaching intersectionality and womanhood and all these things, but not talk about the real issues.
The LGBT movement, civil society, at country level are not harmonized. We do not have national agendas. So it's difficult for us to share or sell our agenda as LGBT community to the broader civil society community.
We have never really had an opportunity to come together and really assess the possibility of really working together as a collaboration. That is why I'm saying this came at a very important point in time to really try and say, okay, we are women, but there are other sections, there are other groups that we really need to target, that are really also at the vulnerable sphere in the society. It will also expand our knowledge to say, okay, beyond what you are doing, what are other things that you need to consider? What are other key populations that you need to take into consideration?
And so what can we do to help each other? And I think that's the most important thing, is to really find ways to work together, acknowledging our differences, but not seeing that as our differences, but as diversity. So much so that if I am a gay man, I know that I can access some of the doors that the women's movement can. The women's movement can access some of the doors that I can't.
There is a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others.